What's going on, people? Want to do a video updating on cryptocurrencies. I was looking at Bitcoin on the 4 hour, and finally starting to see maybe an advantage. Um, I know last time I did a video, I was talking about how there was maybe this could be maybe a local top. We were in a channel that we broke out of. Didn't hit the measure move, um, but you're in still in a bullish market, so it's pretty common when you have a bearish breakout. You don't make you know the measure move, um, but just let like a week go by because, like I said, there was really no advantage. There was one slightly on the 4 hour. You did have triple RSI bullish divergence, but you really didn't make any any significant move to the upside yet, not yet. Um, well, what I'm starting to see forming now on the 4 hour is potential inverse head and shoulders. Maybe you have it's not really a great example, but you can also look at Bitcoin that you're like in a range. Um, it's range bound for the last week. And I'm looking at more so like inverse head and shoulders because you haven't come back down and tested the bottom of the range. But what we can do is invert the chart. You see you have a little pattern potentially. And if this, breaks the trend line at around like 52,150, you could get a nice markup price. Let me go back to measure this out. Conservative. You're going to break all-time high. So 1539. So we just use your fibs, your high to the low, and if you break this peak, your target is going to be 62,680. But again, you gotta break this area. Don't break above it. It becomes invalidated. Touch the breakdown. Maybe you then finally make your measure move. I was looking at Ethereum. Clean this up a little bit. And you kind of can see same type of pattern. I had this more of a symmetric triangle. It was more bearish because you have the impulse down and then consolidation. Usually when you have this type of price action, you break down because it's like a continuation from a symmetric triangle. But if Bitcoin, breaks that trend line, Ethereum will go up just off of, based off of Bitcoin gaining in value. But if it does break down, you're looking around like 1130 as a target. If you break up, probably going to be heading back to this peak, maybe the top of the channel at 2,300. Really, everything is contingent on Bitcoin right now. As always, until that correlation is broken, and unfortunately, it hasn't broken yet. What I haven't looked at is the BTC pair, which seems to be, you hit your measure move from that double top. We're in like we're consolidating and look out bearishly. You consolidate again. Descending triangle. I always go break to the upside. You do have bullish divergence on the MACD and RSI. It's still playing out. Daily. No advantage on the daily, but you do have a slight advantage on the 4-hour. This played out. Delete this. They had just been either trading, taking swing positions, or day trading this BTC pair. Haven't touched it in a while, in a few weeks, but ever since this breakdown. But maybe you'll get hopefully you get a test back up to this important resistance. Until Ethereum breaks this resistance, it's has potential to keep breaking down. Your MACD on the weekly is just going negative. That's not good. Could continue to sell off. RSI is pretty in neutral territory. Only advantage we see right now on a significant time frames is the 4-hour, but the longer term time frames still look bearish as far as the indicators go. But I know Ethereum just released that they're going to be more deflationary. They're having a fork in July that will also help with the fees on it. Doing transactions. The fees are still atrocious using Ethereum. So hopefully that fundamental news trickles over to the price. But everything's contingent on BTC right now. I think I was looking at was Doge. Go to the I was just looking at the 4-hour, and you had your stream impulse up, and all the tweets and all the hype, all in here. And then for the last over a month now, it's just been flatlined. But you're really just consolidating, and that consolidation is getting more tighter. You're getting to the end of the line where either you're going to have an impulse up or you're going to break down more. And again, everything is pretty much contingent on BTC. BTC probably, if it breaks down, Doge is more than likely going to follow. About a 50%, 46% impulse, but to me right now, I know I posted a few videos on Doge in this area, but never had a true reversal. It's just more consolidation. I mean, if you're bearish, you can see where you could put a potential position in, or if you're bullish, where you put your position in and where your stops would be. But for a lot of these assets, it's getting to like whether crucial areas are we going to continue up or down, especially for Doge. Looking at the MACD, making higher lows. You're just getting bullish convergence every lower peak. It seems like it's being accumulated a little bit, maybe. You really have to break this trend line to get, maybe break it, back test it, and run. If you're unsure, maybe, not financial advice, but before a breakout and back test for entering along. But it looks like it could potentially break out here. Maybe there would be a tweet or something like that, just like the whole run up. But it looks fine at the moment. No coins that I was following actually did hit targets with this BTC consolidation or sell off. Theta finally hit its target. I'm not in this position anymore. Like I was saying in other prior videos, I was taking a lot of profit, like in this range. That's most of the profit in this range with Theta. And I just didn't re-enter. Wasn't liking how the market looked. Right now on the 4-hour, we just starts consolidating more. Let's look at the daily. Daily gotta keep moving, or there's another reason why I was taking a profit. There was, RSI bearish divergence. The daily in Europe making 1, 2, well, that played out, and then making 1, 2, like making potential bearish divergence. If you reverse here, you're starting to lose momentum. Well, you're not losing momentum on the MACD, which is pretty good still. RSI is showing, divergence, bearish divergence. I mean, data has been really high performing asset past like 6 months. I mean, like 6 months ago, you're at 40 cents, you're 10x already. But I don't see much value here. But just psychologically, maybe it goes to $5. Really, there's nothing here to stop it. Pretty much hit target. Delete that. Let's put some fibs quick. Man, I mean, you're just hide this. You're the free fib. So I mean, you're still in this. You're still thinking maybe what you want is more consolidation, and then another impulse up, but don't see any value. Another one was performing pretty well. Was BAT. I really didn't. I took profit. This last impulse, or was it further? No. So last impulse, you consolidate it with the consolidation. Having no impulse, another impulse up. You're making potential hidden bullish divergence. If you pivot here, you could have another a little slight advantage on the 4-hour. Just like data, and as I expected, you want to continue the momentum up, or could potentially pulling back even further. This consolidation, you really didn't make the target, but actually, well, came kind of close. Maybe you consolidate and pulse up, make the target and sell off. I mean, it's not much value on a lot of these also have been moving. Let's get FTM that just went crazy. You know, saying that it was here around like yeah, it was like 16 cents. I said the target would be 48, and it went all the way up to 86 cents. It went insane. So you hit the target on FTM. I believe I got out early because there was, I think got out on this candle. There was an impulse in it. It started to, sell off, and I didn't want it to hit my stop. So I made a little profit, but it didn't touch FTM, and then it ran up, and it was just like, just crazy. But trading, that's what happens. Looking at this, it's kind of look like what ADA was doing. When I look at that next, maybe a pennant. From there, we would post it from here. Kind of broke out, back testing in a 4 hour. Scrolling more. Yeah. You're kind of back testing this breakout, but even looking at even more. Let's see something. Kind of have a harmonic pattern developed after. It's going to be a little off. Actually got it. Looks good. 76. Kind of like a bullish Gartley. Probably shows up on the 4 hours as well. Yeah. So you had your impulse up to 86 cent. Sold off. Had a, attempt to rally. Sold off. Attempt to rally. Sold off. You're creating a bullish Gartley. It's going to be no divergence. No divergence, not on the 4 hour. 1 hour, you do have bullish divergence. MACD and on the RSI. So, with this type of harmonic, your targets typically more conservative targets like 3.2, well, 50%, 618, but typically like A and C are your targets. So maybe you'll get back to 60 cents or around like 65 cents. But honestly, with this type of pattern, usually what happens is you exceed these targets and make another impulse up. It wouldn't shock me to see FTM making a new high in a few days or in a week. As long as Bitcoin, everything caveat is as long as Bitcoin doesn't dump. Could see it at 101, 108, 119, 618. I wouldn't be shocked to see the 618. Over time, I mean, this looks good. I mean, you had your impulse, your sell off, and you're just consolidating sideways. You're showing up, you know, a Gartley, a bullish Gartley. Um, yeah, FTM looks fine, and with Bitcoin showing its, a potential, uh, you know, continuation pattern after its impulse and sell off. Crypto is not looking as negative right now as a lot of people think. I think, just been a lot of, it hasn't gone straight up. And a lot of people don't like this type of price action. Just, get hype off the price action of it, just, mooning. Um, but you need like these type of sell-offs are healthy because it allows, more liquidity to come into the asset. People are taking profit. As long as it doesn't, start making a higher, consecutive, say you're in this, as long as you don't make a bearish pattern, uh, the market will still view this as, some type of value. FTM looks like you put your stop below the wick and just, see how far it goes. I mean, get to the 618. I mean, you're still talking about, of doubling your money, doubling and a half your money. FTM looks pretty decent for a, low risk, even at these levels, a low risk, high reward, long at these levels. It's amazing. Look at it long. So, here. Moving it up. Yeah, that's moving it up. Of course. Let me try this again. Just a little bit low. Even, more conservative. More conservative targets. That's an, that's a 13% stop loss. It's only worth it if it does, break the peaks and goes to your, higher targets. Even that is, kind of miss the lowest risk entry, but I still see that there's some value on this pair. We'll look at ADA. Which had a nice run. This is all-time high. Kind of like you back tested this areas for support. 4 hour. Yeah. And you're breaking out of its consolidation. I mean, a lot of these pairs, when I was looking at the chart, looked like you were just consolidating, and now you're starting to potentially, make your next impulse up. Looking at the MACDs, it's bullish conversions. There's no RSI hidden bullish divergence. Let's look at the daily. I know the daily there was actually bear divergence. It's one of the reasons why it probably sold off, and you're still making, negative momentum. You have the peak, then your peak, and you had on RSI as well. Triple RSI bearish divergence. Not looking as strong. Looking at the daily, Um, just looking at the 4 hour, starting to lose momentum on the weekly. So it maybe this you know have a attempt to rally for ADA and make a lower high. It's maybe you get to the 50% or 618, maybe 76, and then you know just be if you're still in this position, be cautious till you break the higher peak. There's the potential of a you know uh, lower rally and then a flame out. Um, yeah, but that's just some assets I've been looking at. Um, other than that, going back to Bitcoin, looking at the daily, just to recap, that looks a lot of going on in here. Just delete all this real quick. Also, looking at it, your MACD, you're making hidden bullish divergence, losing, your negative momentum, which is positive, with your RSI, but you do have a bullish argument for Bitcoin to potentially go to higher prices. Um, Again, looking at the 4 hour, kind of like a range, kind of like a inverse head and shoulders. You had the triple MACD and RSI bullish divergence. Kind of made a lower low here, but even on the 4 hour, you're making potential MACD hit. Well, it's forming the hidden bullish divergence on the 4 hour. So, if you were taking a long here, wouldn't be, there's more of a argument for more upside right now, honestly, looking at it than, we selling off. But, a lot of this sell off has been driven by the stock market and looking at the 10-year. So then I've been mentioning, um, as far as could be a catalyst that could pop the bubble on a lot of these markets. Um, right now, just looking at it like a traditional asset, you're making bearish divergence on a 4 hour. And I was looking, in the past, looking at some indicators when you get the RSI. Well, this is kind of like the highest the RSI has been in a long time. When you get these type of levels, elevated levels like this on RSI, you typically get a pullback. But with these markets, who knows? Just, this is the highest level of RSI since 2006. But who knows? Maybe if the Fed doesn't come out and actually try to, you know, bring these, bring the interest rate down, I think you're going to at some point break this peak in the future. And I think, this combined with the dollar will be the catalyst of, not just crypto, but the stock market itself breaking down. But, is this something I would continually monitor? The dollar is gaining value. Maybe you get one more impulse up for BTC, and then on the daily you make, bearish divergence and sell off. And maybe just, this continues to gain value and you sell off here. But I showed this the last time you had, MACD and RSI weekly bullish divergence. I'm expecting, the dollar to continue to gain value. That is you know, the real only one of the reasons why I'm still somewhat cautious, taking on major positions in crypto. But just for the short term time frame, maybe you could impulse up. Um, but to the mid to the long term, definitely pay attention to the dollar. Definitely pay attention to the 10 year, and you know, I wouldn't. Me personally, I'm not taking a lot of risk in these areas, but that's just my views of crypto right now. Hopefully, this weekend and these next few weeks we continue to trend up. But until next time, peace.